Okay, we're at Breitbart.com, and I'm going to cover this more after the break, but here's the article. Panetta, international permission trumps congressional permission for military actions. Actually, I'm not criticizing Breitbart's site, but that's not even as bad as the quotes are. They say Congress has nothing to do with it, and it's international permission is where they get the authority. This isn't Obama saying I'm a dictator. He says the UN's my boss. Now, there are 850 comments on this, and there's similar comments at Infowars.com, but we're crawling with COINTELPRO and people, trying to cause infighting. But here it is. 850 comments. During breaks, I've gone through about 100 of these, almost every one of them. If you scroll down a little bit there. Says, Panetta needs to be arrested immediately. He has breached his responsibility to our Constitution and is a direct threat to the nation. As any terrorist, this man is a criminal. Death to tyrants. That's an old saying going back to Rome and the Founding Fathers. So are the rest of his administration. The entire administration is a bunch of traitors and enemies of this country. I'm reading you quotes here. How about our military that just sits there and lets us poor Americans pay and watch our Constitution go up in flames? How about you get up and speak out? I guess you are. I cannot believe that I'm reading this. For the record, I'm an active duty officer. Look at this. Number one, Leon Panetta was telling the senior senator, a senator, that Congress has absolutely no voice. That's right. See, the headline's wrong. We don't need an article saying, they tell him you have no voice. That's what they say. This officer gets what they say. It's just unbelievable. They're not even playing patty cake with the little idiot senators anymore who've been already engaged in treason. They're all involved too. What do they expect is going to happen? Where do they think this road leads? Senators were actually having to catch their breath. This is so amazing, and it's not even a news issue. Number one, Leon Panetta was telling the senator that Congress has absolutely no voice in the president choosing to go to war. Congress has a voice in sustaining a war, not initiating one. Point being, that Barack Obama could choose, just like Bush, to go to war without congressional approval. See, this poor officer doesn't understand that that wasn't even before. That was how they told them all that. Congress has to direct it. Now, Congress passed laws that if we were attacked suddenly, the president could respond in those circumstances. But that's still congressional control. If we are to stay in active combat over a period of time, I believe 90 days, Congress has to approve further operations. Yeah, that's the War Powers Act. This is important as Leon Panetta is the president's liaison for combat. If Leon Panetta says we need to unilaterally go to war with Syria, Obama could say go. Mr. Sessions doesn't get a say, at least not at first. And then it goes on. So the military, that person's not fully understanding it. Congress did give Bush approval for both Iraq and Afghanistan. Look it up. So now they're explaining that. And they did. But it wasn't a proper declaration. People argued, well, now they won't even get an authorization. Now that's happening. And then it goes on here with people saying, the Constitution's being shredded before our eyes. It goes on to say the top brass of the military are just as corrupt as anyone in politics. It's all about power and prestige, and most anyone above the rank of 08 looks only into ensuring their retirement and future in government. And it just goes on here. So forever, they've tried to train people that, the president can launch a war without congressional approval, which is total treason. Now they're saying, he gets it from the UN. Read the Constitution. That's why whenever America was attacked in the past, you had to get a declaration of war. But then Korea, Vietnam, right through, it just became Gulf of Tonkin resolutions. A resolution of force. And then the power started drifting to the president. And the globalists always wanted that so the president could be a foreign puppet and engaged in puppeteering our military. And this is it. So now they're going to teach the military, not only does the president launch wars without Congress, well, then why is there even a Congress? Now it's the president launches it because the UN's our boss. And you're going to see the military come out, the brass, and say, that's right, we just saw it in Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, I struggle for the proper words to describe what's happening. If you just joined us, multiple senators and House members like Representative Jones have come out and said that this is unconstitutional, that it violates the Constitution, and that it's a usurpation of our republic, and an impeachable offense. It goes beyond an impeachable offense. It is a treacherous war against our republic. I was reading from the Encyclopedia Britannica earlier on Crossing the Rubicon by Julius Caesar, that it was an act of war prescribed in Latin as coup d'etat, when he declared that he was over the military forces of the city-state that ruled the empire. That was January 10th, 49 BC. Now, last year, and I have the date here in the article by Paul Joseph Watson, Obama sent a letter to Congress when they said you have to get approval, and he said, you can read it. You can read the letter. Link to it right here on Infowars.com, on WhiteHouse.gov. He said, I don't need congressional approval. You don't have authority over the presidency. I get my authority from the United Nations. And members of the House sued him over it, 10 members. This is a coup d'etat. And the brass came in and the Secretary of Defense came in, and they said international permission is where we get our authority. They didn't just say the president is a dictator. They didn't just say that. They said, we get it from the United Nations. Now, I want to hear from active duty, National Guard, Marines, Army, but I really want to hear from officers. And by the way, I'm online on big news sites that are starting to report this, where they're like, oh, there's a battle between Congress and the president. It's a political debate about who runs the military. If there's no debate, and I'm seeing the comments going, I'm an Army officer, I'm an Army captain, I'm a Marine Corps colonel, and I'm telling you, this is illegal. Let me read to you what Congressman Jones said. Then we're going to go to Paul Watson and then the military calling in. The toll-free number for active duty. What do you think we should do about this? This is an open coup against America, like we're some third world country. But it's a bunch of lawyers going, it's not the military seizing the Congress. They just walk in and say, we now just do whatever the UN says in NATO. And the senator's like, I'm having trouble catching my breath. I mean, the senators are actually going, huh? Because they know these wars were launched last year without approval. That's illegal and treason. But now they're being told it's for the UN. And they're going, huh? Let me catch my breath here. Because I was watching this morning. I didn't see this last night. And I had trouble talking. And I guess for the average American that only cares about whatever football game or basketball game's on, I guess I am bad, because I'm like, oh, you don't want the UN running the military? It's no big deal. I've been to so many urban warfare drills where they've got our troops trained with foreign troops for operations here in America, and now they admit they'll use troops from 15 nations here, NLE 09 and other documents, to deal with, quote, civil insurrection and political dissidents. FEMA is hiring internment specialists for the U.S. for political dissidents. It's all admitted. And this is like a minor footnote. I've got the New York Times today going, there's a little fight between the legislative and executive about who runs wars. No. There's not a fight about that. That was settled when the country was founded. It's Congress. This is beyond that. They're saying the UN and NATO call the shots. Do you understand? Just like Michael News saying, 15 years ago, why am I under UN command over here? Why is a UN officer commanding me? It was fundamental. People are like, oh, whatever, let the UN command you. Now you see where it leads, and everything they've done is to get us ready for this. Folks, if they can do this, they can do anything. Have you not? That's why courts are ruling they can come in your house without warrants, download your cell phone without warrants. I mean, it's all happening. The toll-free number to join us for military personnel out there. I want to hear what you have to say to this. I mean, you've got to speak out. You've got to write letters. You've got to shoot YouTube videos. You've got to go public. You've got to march. Your country is under attack from within. Enemies foreign and domestic. Our republic is openly, they're declaring it. It already happened, but now they're declaring the UN gives the president orders. Go read the quotes on Infowars.com. Go watch the video. I'm going to play it after I take calls. Breaking news, Representative Jones puts Obama on notice. Walter Jones, Congress, North Carolina, 3rd District. In the House of Representatives, this is from his website, Mr. Jones submitted the following concurrent resolution, which was referred to the Committee on the Judiciary. In fact, guys, dig this bill up for me. Chris has got it. Put it on screen for folks. It's the 112th Congress, 2011-2012, h.con.res.107ih. This is like defibrillators on the heart of the Republic. It's in cardiac arrest. Bzz, get them in there. The military speaking out. That's your duty. The Republic, the Constitution, is being openly stomped and desecrated in front of you. You've got to say no. This is it. And the reason we speak out now, we've known this has been happening for a while, but now it's so brazen, it's actually got Congress out of their coma for 5 seconds. Now, let me read to you what Congressman Walter Jones said. I think he was on a few years ago. Concurrent resolution expressing the sense of the Congress that the use of offensive military force by the president without prior and clear authorization of an act of Congress constitute an impeachable high crime. High crime, folks. You know what a high crime is? You know what they do with a high crime? You know what they do for treason? This is from the House member. Hope his plane doesn't blow up. Hope he doesn't slip on a banana peel. We've all got to stand up together. I'm doing it. Jones is doing it. Is it only the Joneses around here and the Pauls around here that are men? Where are you, military? Where are you when the country is going to hell in a handbasket? You better believe I'm risking my life right now. Expressing the sense of the Congress that the use of offensive military force by a president without prior and clear authorization of an act of Congress constitutes an impeachable high crime and misdemeanor under Article 2, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution. Whereas all these military, I see debating on the sites whether or not that they can do this. This isn't even about the president launching an attack if we're hit. Congress has given them that authority, so they don't have to call Congress in. And people said that was dangerous. See where it leads. This is the president saying, I follow the UN and NATO. Okay? In fact, Jones doesn't even get it. It's worse than that. It's a foreign coup d'etat. That's why the president isn't allowed to do this stuff, because they could get an agent in. And they have. Oh, man. Whereas the cornerstone of the Republic is honoring Congress's exclusive power to declare war, the cornerstone of the Republic. That's right. The cornerstone of the Republic. I'm going to say that again. The cornerstone. Founding fathers said that. And I'm reading military brass debating whether Obama can do this. How brainwashed. All you got to do is go read Constitution, dummy, that you swore an oath to. The good news is most of the military is awake. 9 out of 10 comments from the military I'm reading are just like totally awake. Whereas the cornerstone of the Republic is honoring Congress's exclusive power to declare war under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11. Let me say that to the military again. The cornerstone of the Republic is honoring Congress's exclusive power to declare war under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of the Constitution. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives, this Senate concurring. The Senate has now concurred with this. Okay, there's a Senate bill. Senate's on board. This is the sense of Congress that except in response to an actual or imminent attack, that's ICBMs coming in, against the territory of the United States, the use of offensive military force by a president without prior and clear authorization of an act of Congress violates Congress's exclusive power to declare war under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11 of the Constitution, whereas constitutes an impeachable high crime and misdemeanor under Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution. And it goes on. No debating. No debating. No, no, no. There is no discussion. This is high treason and beyond. This is treachery. Because you can argue it's not treason if you're really a foreign agent. It's espionage. Obama, Panetta, the brass that goes along with this are all guilty of espionage by the corporate crime syndicate, mafia, known as the New World Order. And I've had it. I want our republic back. If they get away with this, what do you think's next? Secret arrest of citizens, shutdown of free speech, all of it, and all the bondage that comes with it. And I've sworn on the altar of God, eternal resistance to these people. You're like, why are you getting upset? You men get upset for these times, not for going to some football game and getting angry. I'm skipping this break because I got a bunch of military officers and others calling in right now.